Looking to improve your fitness business while keeping your bottom line in good shape? Let the Gym Administrator help you achieve those goals. With their powerful team of fitness industry professionals at the ready, the Gym Administrator covers a wide range of industry-related products and services that will help you build your business and increase profits. The Gym Administrator works with reliable industry suppliers and vendors that place a heavy emphasis on service, just the way you remember it. Give them a call at 914-494-1066 or visit them on the web at thegymadministrator.com as well as all social media platforms. The Gym Administrator, all your fitness needs under one roof. Scan the barcode at the bottom of the screen to get started today.
And that was the reason. But
Well, as a fan, we would have loved it. It would have been pretty incredible. Stan, you were here at our other studio about 5 years ago. I want to ask you about the great Bruno Sammartino.
Oh, yeah.
You told the story before, but I think it deserves to be told again. You're the man who broke the cash cow's neck. Can you Can you tell the story of that night with Bruno and everything that happened before and after? And was your life in danger at any point after killing the living, now the legend, Bruno Sammartino?
Well, I didn't kill him, thank God, but I did hurt him. And I slammed him on the back of his neck, and it broke his neck and cracked like 3 of his vertebrae. And they said that if he hadn't have been so muscular and big traps and big strong, he was a big strong guy, and that protected him from getting nerve damage and everything. But Vince Senior, he sure didn't like it. I was, fairly green too. I'd only been working like 2 or 3 years. But Bruno, being the class act that he is, he liked to go and work against new guys and everything, and gave a new guy like me and a bunch of other guys too, the opportunity to make a name for themselves. Of course, he never dreamed that I'd make a name for myself by hurting him, where he couldn't wrestle. But he was a classy guy, and so that's. But Vince Senior never quite, forgave me for hurting his champion at the time. But Bruno never held hard feelings, and we became fairly friendly, over the years. And my family met him, and and everything, and everybody loved Bruno. And mainly the fans in this area, they love Bruno. I mean, Hogan was over, but let me tell you, in his heyday, Bruno was over more than anybody.
Well, it's funny you bring that up. I was going to ask both of you, Hogan, Sammartino, who meant more to the wrestling business in both your eyes?
It's different because Bruno was the first. He was 60s, 60s, 70s, 80s. And Hogan came along afterwards, and Hogan had the power of television, national audiences, not just regional like Bruno did. And I think, Bruno was ahead of his time because he was so muscular, and he was just they took the Italian heritage and they ran with that, especially here in New York. A lot of Italians, Washington, D.C., Jersey, up in Boston, up and down the East Coast. So that's where, WWF's territory really was. And before Superstation Turner and all these other big television affiliates, back then it was the territories. And now, you only have AEW and you have pretty much WWE. That's the 2 major ones. You got, other promotions too out there. But those are the 2 main ones. And that's, back with NWA and, they had territories in every state almost. But now I think, the difference between him and Hogan, they did the rock and wrestling with Hogan. MTV came along, which just put the spotlight, on Hogan. The Rocky movie helped him out too, and everything else. So,
right, yeah.
And the times were changing, and Vince had hindsight, and he knew that the national spotlight would feature his product if he was to buy up the territories or get all the top stars from all the territories together, pick and choose what he wanted, and he, raped and pillaged the whole, wrestling community and got what he wanted and ran with it. And he had the money and the backing and the foresight to make it work. And then with the merchandise, that was a whole nother level of, back then in the 60s and 70s, maybe you didn't even have any merchandise hardly, You had maybe a program and that was it.
So you think Hogan had an unfair advantage over Sammartino in a certain way? Then?
I think in a certain way, yes, 100%, because times changed.
I think it was just two different times.
Yeah.
I don't know, advantage over one or the other was over more than the other. I don't know. I think Bruno was really over, and I know that Hogan, when we were teamed up in Japan for a few years right before he came over, and got the ball handed to him, and he ran with it. So, man, I mean, he did great. So both of them are really great.